I'll let you know how quickly those temperatures drop.
And only on WLWT, an 83-year-old grandmother targeted by thieves.
When they was in my purse, and it was personal to me.
The tactics the crooks used to steal her money.
This is WLWT News 5, leading the way.
Some promising news on the COVID-19 front. The first pill to treat the virus under consideration for emergency use by the FDA. Thanks for being with us. I'm Ashley Kirkland.
And I'm Mike Dardis. The drug news comes along with other encouraging signs in this fight against the pandemic. WLWT News 5's Sally Kidd is in Washington with the details.
Mike, Ashley, Merck says its new drug can reduce symptoms and speed recovery and also help those at higher risk avoid more severe illness.
The newest treatment option for COVID-19 may soon be a pill you can pop at home. Merck is now seeking FDA authorization for the first antiviral pill to treat the disease.
That's great news. This is an antiviral drug that can cut the risk of hospitalization and death by about 50% in people who have mild or moderate COVID-19.
This as the latest data show the U.S. is headed in the right direction. CDC says over the past week, new cases are down 11%, dropping below 100,000 for the first time in over 2 months. Hospitalizations and deaths also down. While that's promising, health experts say the Delta wave is not over.
Our hospital systems are still quite full. Our ICU beds are still pretty full with COVID-19 patients, specifically the Delta virus variant.
The administration says vaccinations are up 50%, climbing past 1 million shots a day as more Americans get booster doses.
We were at 3 million doses a day, a couple months ago. And if we'd stayed on that course at 3 million doses a day, really we could have been looking in our rearview mirror at this pandemic.
As the weather gets colder, doctors worry we could see another spike in COVID cases, just as flu season ramps up.
But here's the good news on that. The CDC says you can get both vaccines in one visit. So if you're going in for your booster dose or to get that first shot of COVID vaccine, you can also get your flu shot at the same time. In Washington, Sally Kidd, WLWT News 5.
This week, an FDA advisory panel will discuss whether to authorize Moderna and J&J booster shots. And later this month, we'll consider the Pfizer vaccine for kids ages 5 to 11.
Well, in our area, the progress of the COVID fight continues to trend in the right direction. Ohio health officials are reporting some 2,900 new cases just in the last 24 hours. That is down from the 21-day average of 5,600. We're also seeing no deaths in the Buckeye State. Kentucky is reporting 2,100 new COVID cases. Their positivity rate continues to be in the single digits at 8.49%. Meanwhile, Indiana is reporting well under 2,000 cases, and today they are reporting 1,100 new cases and 1 COVID death.
Runners were back pounding the pavement today. It's the 125th running of the Boston Marathon. This after COVID-19 restrictions canceled plans for 2020. The field cut down by 40% this year, and runners had to show proof of vaccination or provide a negative COVID-19 test if they wanted to be involved and run that thing. And thousands of runners from across the world waited more than 2 years for the Boston Marathon to come back. More than 50 of them from right here in the Cincinnati area. WLWT News 5's Natalie Clark is here now with the excitement surrounding the race and what you can expect for this year's Flying Pig. It's just around the corner.
It's quiet now on Marion Way, but on Halloween weekend, this place will be hopping when thousands of runners take to the street for the Flying Pig Marathon. It's been a long wait, more than 900 days for Boston Marathon runners, but today they laced up their running shoes, many of them from Cincinnati.
It was great. It was a fantastic experience. There were just so many people cheering all along the way. And so we ran with a few friends from Cincinnati.
This is the first year the marathon has taken place in the fall. Same for the Flying Pig. Another difference, attendance. Boston saw a 40% drop in runners, while Flying Pig is down by about half.
Boston, New York, Chicago, everyone had smaller fields. And that's not all bad. You know, it's manageable for our comeback. And certainly we encourage everyone to do only that which they're comfortable with doing.
For four-time Boston Marathon runner and Cincinnatian Laura Lucan, the changes didn't impact the excitement of the race.
The obvious COVID restrictions with masking and then, proof of vaccination. But I think that there was just a little less crowding in some areas, but I think that it was still great. I mean, it was still wall-to-wall people.
While the runners today had to show proof of vaccination or a negative COVID-19 test that is not required for runners at the Flying Pig.
That's not typically a requirement for outdoor events, so we're not doing that. Just following the guidelines.
Simpson-Busch encourages everyone to do what makes them feel comfortable. That includes friends, family, and fans who will be taking in the Flying Pig on the sidelines. So yes, there will be some changes at this year's Flying Pig, but it's still gonna feel the same. And runners, keep training because you have just until May for your next Flying Pig. Natalie Clark, WLWT News 5.
The Flying Pig usually kicks off at 6:30 in the morning, but thanks to daylight savings time, listen to this, you get an extra hour of sleep. This year's race starts at 7:30. Still early, though. WLWT, your home for the Flying Pig Marathon. We'll be up early with you for the live race coverage starting at 5 o'clock in the morning on Sunday, October 31st.
Now to a story only on WLWT, and this one is a real heartbreaker. Crooks target an 83-year-old grandmother inside of a Butler County mire.
Yeah, the woman says that one of them played on her emotions and the other ripped her off. WLWT News 5's Karen Johnson live right now outside the Fairfield Police Department where officers are investigating the theft report. Hi, Karen.
Hey, Mike, if you have an older mother or grandmother, this story might make you very angry. The victim in this case, the 83-year-old, hopes it makes us all a little wiser. She's telling her story in hopes no one else is victimized like she was.
I feel scared and afraid,
83-year-old Sylvia taken advantage of when she least expected it, while shopping at the Meijer in Fairfield.
I even thought about not going. I had a funny feeling that day for some reason.
But Sylvia wanted to buy a birthday card for her granddaughter, so she went anyway. Once in the store, Sylvia says a young woman struck up conversation, asked advice on cooking lima beans, and talked about how her mother recently died.
And I felt so sorry. She had tears in her eyes telling me all this stuff. So I just really thought that she was real serious. I never thought about her lying to me.
Sylvia quickly realized she was played when the conversation ended and her purse, not around her arm like she normally carries it, was also not where she put it in the cart.
And it was laying down and I thought, well, I didn't have my purse down there like that. And I noticed it was open.
More than $200 was missing.
Yeah, I just felt like that was just awful, and they was in my purse, and it was personal to me.
Sylvia says security footage, which has not been released publicly, shows at least 3 people were working together to rip her off. She gets emotional talking about how alone she felt in that moment and the relief of hugging her family afterwards.
I was just so happy to see somebody.
But she also wants to share her story in hopes of preventing this from happening to others.
I just hope that they can find these people and they won't do nobody else the way I was done and them feel bad like I do.
And Fairfield Police today did confirm they are investigating this theft report. Tonight, we are still working on getting a copy of that security footage. Maybe someone out there can identify the suspects. Reporting live tonight in Fairfield, Karen Johnson, WLWT News 5.
Karen, thank you. Well, the coroner has identified one of 2 people killed in a head-on